Hi, and thanks for tuning in. I know at the end of the last video, I said that the next video was going to be about curriculum, but when I started to make that video, I realized before we talk about curriculum, we have to talk about what type of homeschool you may want to start with, because that will determine what type of curriculum and where you get the curriculum from. Now, when we're talking about what types of homeschool, the great thing about our country is that we get to choose how we parent our children, and we can change at any time. I have, for one, gone through lots of different types and variations of homeschooling throughout the years, depending on what my children needed and was thriving in at that particular time. So I'm going to go over the main ones to start out with. In Pennsylvania, we have something called cyber schools, which probably a lot of you may have heard something about, or charter schools. Connections Academy and K through 12 are two of the biggest ones in the area. Now, those are actually not considered homeschools. They're considered public schools. You are schooling at home, and you do a lot of things with other traditional homeschool kids, but it is a public school. You get assignments that you have to complete. There's teachers that you work with on a regular basis. There's online class lectures that you have to watch, and all the paperwork is taken care of. And they send you everything, and then you send everything back to them. A lot of them also have field trips and other activities to do, similar to a traditional brick and mortar school. And if you're really afraid of paperwork, or you're just starting out, that may possibly be an option for you, at least to get started. The next one is school at home. And school at home is what some people stereotypically think of as homeschooling. And if you happen to watch The Simpsons, this is what Marge did with Bart in the one episode that he was homeschooled. And it's just as the name implies, you're creating a school environment at home. You typically would have whiteboards or chalkboards up on the wall, desks, traditional desks set up, and you're teaching at the front of the classroom, similar to what I'm doing right now to the camera. And then that you teach and give the children, your kids, an assignment, and then they do it. On the totally opposite end of the spectrum is unschooling. And sometimes people think of unschooling as you don't do anything at all, and that's actually not the case. An unschooler is, the philosophy behind it is that you learn best, regardless of what your age, on when you want to learn something. So an unschooling parent is going to really wait until a child asks for more information before giving them and teaching them about a specific topic. However, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything, but you're constantly putting new experiences in front of your child. You're going for hikes, you're going to the nature center, and if, like, say you go to the zoo and they really like the elephants, then you teach about African safari, and then maybe from there you're going to want to learn about African geography, and maybe from there you will take in and say, hey, look at how South America and Africa fit together, and then you can teach about plate tectonics. So, but you're constantly giving your children more experiences and information to let them say, hey, I want to learn more about that. Now, very few traditional homeschoolers are one or the other, but they're a combination of a mix of them. For example, some people like to unschool in history and science, but do more of a traditional when it comes to math. You might have a child who can't sit still, and then you're really going to want to try to probably do the unschooling. You might have another child who wants to sit down and do all of their work, one subject right after another, and that's going to be more of your school at home. But you're going to, it's all through trial and error. And you're going to have to also let go of whatever you do, you're going to stick with for the whole, the whole homeschooling career. It evolves based on what your children need each year. All right, well, I hope that answers your questions about types of homeschooling, gets you thinking which one your child might thrive best in. And the next video will be curriculum. Thanks a lot.